What's going on, guys? How are you today? So today I want to talk about Gachagua, Riggy G. I don't know what's happening in Kenya. As you know, right now I am half Kenyan already. So most of the news I get, because since I went to Kenya and came back, I've been following all the news on what do you call it, Citizen TV, KTN and everything. Sometimes it just comes into my box, and then I want to find out why is Riggy G being forced out, because I know from what I've read and from what I've heard that before you become a president in Kenya, you have to win the mountain region, and I understand Riggy G is from that area, and he helped Ruto win the election. So now there's concerted effort by people, even from the Mount Kenya region, try to force Riggy G out. So I don't know. That's why I'm putting it out to you, my viewers in Kenya. What has Riggy G done? What has Gachagua done for him to for there to be this uproar, for him to either they are going to impeach him or for him to resign, or they're trying to force him out of that position? I don't know. I need to know, because I've said it here as a Nigerian. I've said it here. So many things started like this gradually in the past, before Nigeria got to where it is today. Before we got to this dysfunction that we have in Nigeria, it started with dysfunction from corrupt politicians and citizens not doing anything about it. But I like the Kenyan citizens, because you guys don't, any small thing you guys protest, okay? That's what I like about Kenya. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is I've seen protest in JKIA and about the airports. I don't know what's the name of the company. I forgot the name of the company. Maybe I'll remember later. But you know, this video is about comparing Nigeria to Kenya in some aspects. What I'm seeing now gradually, like a certain company coming over the takeover, coming in to take over your national airports for 30 years, you're not going to do anything. In Nigeria, our electricity, our other ministries, our sectors that were sold off, all of them were, our electricity was under the government. Somebody in their own useless wisdom decided that it's a good idea to concession this or break down these ministries, break down these parastatals and sell them. They did not sell them, they sold them to themselves. They sold them to themselves. Right now in Nigeria, Nigerians cannot afford electricity. The electricity is not even dead, it's even being rationed. That's why every house you go to in Nigeria has generator, because the electricity is not constant. I was in Kenya, I was in Nairobi. Throughout my stay, the electricity did not go out. In my hotel, when I went downtown, when I went to Kilimani, when I went everywhere, electricity was always there. In Nigeria, if you go, it's known, you cannot go a day without electricity going out. Why? Because of corruption. I love Kenya so much. I don't want Kenya to disintegrate. I don't want Kenyans to allow their government to sell off airports, power, all of these things. I don't want Kenya to disintegrate into Nigerian level. Okay? I grew up, most of these things happened when I was a kid in Nigeria. Started happening when I was a kid. Gradually, I didn't even know what was going on. We didn't know what was going on until now. Look at where we are. The level of corruption in Nigeria, the corruption is so high that I myself, I'm not a corrupt person. I cannot even take part in Nigerian politics. If I want to take part in politics, even at the local government level in Nigeria, I have to be corrupt. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. From the police to everybody. I'm not saying the corruption is not in other parts of the world, but it's not out of control as it is in Nigeria. So I want to ask Kenyans, I want to find out, because you cannot allow your government to sell your airports. And if you want to allow, that's fine, but I'm just trying to tell you that this thing cannot happen. If you allow the government to concession your airport or whatever to a third party organization or company, that's the beginning. They're going to bring in concession your tourism industry, which is number one revenue earner. They're going to concession it to some other place, the same company or some other this thing, and they're going to divide the country, divide money making ventures companies into the hands of people in the country. I don't want that. I don't want to see that in Kenya. I'm just sounding the alarm. I'm just sounding the alarm because I love Kenya. I can't say less. Okay, I love Kenya, and it's a place that I'm looking as I'm not lying, my future residence. Okay, so I'm just looking at that. But what I'm trying to say here is that compared to Nigeria, Kenya has functioning industries, functioning factories. In Nigeria, where I was in my hotel near the airport when I came to Kenya, what do you call it? That county near the airport. Oh God! You could see factories from my hotel window. I could see factories. I could hear, noise of production. There was electricity. There was powering those factories. In Nigeria, we have factories. A lot of them have closed down, but the ones that are remaining are being run by generator. How can you be productive? And this will spend money to buy petrol or diesel to maintain their generators. When they produce these things are going to be too expensive for Nigerians to buy. That's why what do you call it? Multinational companies have left Nigeria. Multinational companies that were there before pre-independence and after independence. Most of those companies have gone to South Kenya, Ghana. Some of them have branches in Kenya. Okay, have branches in Kenya due to corruption. I don't think the Kenyan people should allow their government to sell off their factories. I mean, sell off their airports, really, or tourism sector, or anything. I know there's corruption. Let me take this call. I grew up seeing things function in Nigeria. I grew up seeing the government function in Nigeria, not the confusion that we have now. Okay, but due to corruption, Nigeria has become a laughing stock. Nigeria has become a laughing stock. I was watching the news earlier, and one of the senators in Kenya was saying that Kenya cannot, due to corruption, Kenya cannot feed itself. Are you sure? Are you sure? Kenya can feed. How many corn, maize do you import? Wheat. I've seen you produce wheat. I've seen you produce corn into flour that you use for your food. You have all of that. In Nigeria, we have cassava that we turn into powder which we eat. But it's not on a... I've seen factories that make flours in Kenya. In Nigeria, we don't have that. If you want to make flour, we have to buy the corn from outside, bring it in. Buy the wheat from outside, bring it in, and then mill it in Nigeria to sell. Why? Terrorists are chasing people out of their farmlands. We don't have I grew up in Nigeria seeing tractors clearing large farm land to plant things. Now, right now as I speak, I don't think we have up to 100 functioning tractors in Nigeria. In the whole of Nigeria, I don't think we have 100 functioning, running tractors. But I've seen a lot in Kenya when I was there, and I've watched video. Like I've said, every day I'm feeding myself with Kenya content to see how this country is. So the purpose of my video is for you to remember that if you allow politicians to destroy your country will now begin to look like Nigeria. Right now, Nigeria and India, they are fighting of who is the poverty capital of the world. This year is Nigeria. Last year it was India. Next year is going to be Nigeria. It has been like this, Nigeria and India, poverty capital of the world for the past 10 years. They have been sharing it amongst themselves. Isn't that a shame? So I don't want Kenya to get to that level. All right, guys. I want to show you this again. I don't know. I think I didn't show you when I came. So I'm going to wear it in one of my videos next. All right, guys. Thank you so much. More videos to come. I'm done with South African videos because there's nothing really there for me to talk about. So let me go back to my Kenya videos. All right, guys. Peace.